Hello, I'm Lauren Williamson, VP of Product with the Argus Chemical Sector, and you're listening to our latest edition of Chemical Conversations, featuring our chlor-alkali experts, George Eisenhauer and Bernard Law. And they'll be discussing the views of our latest price forecast services in the Argus Chlor-Alkali Outlook. George, let me turn to you first. So far in 2023, we've seen the world transition to a new normal with COVID-19 becoming endemic, China lifting COVID-related restrictions, and a protracted conflict in Russia-Ukraine fundamentally altering energy trade dynamics. The world is watching really strong inflationary factors right now and how that might affect consumer demand. So can you tell us, how have these trends affected the chlor-alkali market, and what are some of the drivers we should be watching for over the next 12 to 24 months?
Thank you, Lauren. The next 12 months, 24-month outlook that we just published recently takes into some of these factors that you had mentioned about COVID-19 lifting and the fact that we're coming into, so to speak, the new normal market for chlor-alkali. We've gone through a very significant energy transition from Europe, and dynamics in China picking up a lot of the slack that opportunities, I should say, for material going from Asia into Europe. The U.S. is also looking at the market and responding as well. So our view right now is that the market has come, or is coming off of this very high price level that we've seen for the last couple of months since the invasion of Ukraine. But the market is becoming more stable, a little bit more linked to the market. Supply is returning. So we're going back to a more normal price forecast.
Thanks for that. And now let me move over to you, Bernard. An important part of the Chlor-Alkali Outlook service is the publication of a 5-year price forecast. Maybe you could tell us a bit about how you approached constructing the view for this time period, and what are some of the major dynamics that the industry should really be looking out for over that time horizon?
Good. Thanks, Lawrence. And in fact, what we're looking at, let's trace back a little bit like last year. And we have seen 3 price spike, and these 3 price spike, they hit the historical high. And so these 3 spikes actually is like a wake-up call for the industry. And at the same time, it is an indication for the world that the Northeast Asia could be a region, and for the world that we rely on whenever there's a supply crisis. Yeah. So, and at this juncture of time, there's no new capacity being built right now, with the exceptions of few of them in China, which is much inland capacity. There's no impact on the export. Now, what we're looking at, without the arbitrage that we see, and the market is kind of returned to the normal traditional metrics, and so we expect the prices to go on the flatter trends. And yeah, basically for a few reasons, and we do not see the caustic prices going to collapse, because we're going to see quite a bit of support, and for the next at least for the next 24 months. Yeah. Now, the reason for that is that the weak vinyl that the producers had relied heavily on the caustic for the margin, and number 2 is that you can really see that the support from the demand itself from the industry is relatively consistent right now, and you don't see actually a drop in the demand and in both the export and import for the export market and the domestic consumption itself. So especially for the aluminum industry, the battery materials and so on, that supported the export prices so far. Yeah, even though there's a sign of recessions going around. Yeah. So and it looks like the prices are holding pretty well right now. That will give them give caustic some support for next for the next 24 months. Yeah. Now, looking at it right now, but however, the prices the prices are expected to come down only in the 2026-27 period, 2026 and 2027 period, when more and more new capacity are taking shapes. Yeah, that will put on a lot of pressure on the caustic soda prices, and especially in China, India, Middle East, and Indonesia, and that would actually drive the prices downwards. Yeah, all right, that's all I have.
Great answer. Next, I'd like to direct this question to both of you. Let's focus a little bit closer in on 2023. Maybe you could give us the top 3 factors you'll be focusing on in the Chlor-Alkali Outlook service for the remainder of this year.
A couple of things that we're looking at, of course, the economy and how the economy reacts to the rising interest rates. And that's going to be a very strong factor on demand for chlorine, more specifically into vinyls, PVC, for example. And that's going to have a knock-on effect of supply or limiting supply or providing excess supply of caustic soda to the market. We always have to follow the chlor-alkali cycle. And right now we're essentially at the bottom of the cycle where we're seeing weak caustic demand, weak chlorine demand. And over the next 6 to 9 months, we expect the cycle to start to improve, which is a little bit counter to what a lot of other economists are saying, that we expect the overall economy to slow down, but because we've essentially been in a manufacturing recession, at least in the chlor-alkali space, since last year, we're expecting to see a little bit of improvement in the market as we go through the rest of 2023.
Okay, and in Asia, we expect the price for the market to be for caustic soda to be relatively firm at this juncture, but we don't expect the price to collapse. Neither we expect the price to surge higher either. Basically, we see this recovery on the second half of the year, especially in China, that will help to lift the demand. And whenever the demand picked up, this will push the prices higher. And at the same time, we are looking at the vinyl side of the cycle. Is that in Asia, the vinyl, we don't expect the vinyl to do that well, and somehow that in 2023 itself, the producer had to rely more on the caustic for their ECU margin. So we can kind of look at the 2023 on a relatively flatter price trends that we are going to see in 2023. Yeah.
George and Bernard, thank you for sharing your views with us today and giving us a glimpse into those trends that are currently affecting the chlor-alkali price forecast. And to our listeners, if you want more information, please visit us at www.argusmedia.com/chemicals. For Argus Media, I'm Lauren Williamson. Join us again next time for more insights in our Chemical Conversations podcast.